And it looks like we are live. This is, of course, English chat time with Mr. Chris. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. So, this past weekend was the Koga City in Ibaraki's Lantern Battle Festival. So, this event was on Saturday, and there was also a piano event on Sunday. And the Lantern Battle Festival, basically, they take bamboo poles, and on the top of the poles, they put lanterns. And then teams try to swing the lanterns into each other to either knock out the flame, break the lantern, set the lanterns on fire, or just break the bamboo. So it's like whatever team remains wins. So it's a very interesting festival, and I've been to it before. And I've also done the piano event before too. So I was invited to the piano event, and I was half like not sure I was going because like this weekend also on Saturday I wanted to go to Tokyo because I wanted to see Rena and I wanted to go to a job fair. But I didn't have enough money to go to Tokyo. So I was half like thinking maybe I'll go to Koga for just the piano event because I only had the money to go by train one time. And as I mentioned before, the Lantern Festival was on Saturday and the piano event was on Sunday. And Saturday morning, I decided I'm just going to go and go to both. And I didn't have enough money for a hotel either. So I just decided I'm going to go to the festival. I'm going to stay awake all night. And then I'm out on Sunday. So the festival started at 4 and it kind of wrapped up around 8:30 to 9. And so I was basically kind of outside watching that, kind of going into warm up. And once that finished, I basically waited around at the station from 9 to 12 because that's when like the last trains are and they kind of start closing up the station. So I figured at that point I'm probably gonna have to leave. So I decided to then walk around Koga City from 9 to about 4 in the morning, just killing time, seeing places I used to visit. So my legs are definitely getting tired after 4 hours of walking and being in the cold. And then around like 5 in the morning is when the train started up again. So the station was opening. So I was able to kind of wait there. And I kind of just waited around until 8 a.m. when the restaurant Lateria was opening. And that restaurant's in the station. So I feel like I basically waited from when the restaurant closed and until it opened. So I was definitely the first person there that time. But yeah. And it was also, it dropped down to about like 2 degrees. And I was just wearing this, which is like a spring jacket. So it got a little cold. And I was just occasionally stopping in like a convenience store as I was moving around just to like warm up a little bit, act like I was buying something, though I had no money, and just kind of walk back out. So yeah, that's basically what I did. And then after I ate in the morning, I thought it was pretty good. Surprisingly, I was like, now that I'm warming up, I'm pretty awake. I feel pretty good. I think I'll be good for the piano thing. And I had played the song at the piano at the same place earlier on Saturday before I went to the festival and played the song fine. So I figured I'm good. And then I went to the piano event and I was the 17th person to play. And as I was waiting for the like first 16 to finish, I was just sitting there thinking, I don't remember the third bar of this song. And all I could think is like, I'm just really tired. I can't seem to think what it's supposed to be. Because when I play songs on the piano, I use sheet music in the beginning, and then I just memorize the thing in bits by bits until that I don't ever have to look at the sheet music again. So I played the song like every single day, so I have it down. So the fact that I was like sitting there like I don't know what it is, kind of really was like had me half thinking it's like, do I need to change the song I'm gonna play? Because I have a song I play. I like to play "Apologize" by One Republic as a warm up song because that starts slow and just kind of gradually builds, and it's like a similar pattern. So I figured I could play that song instead if I needed to, just because it's like pretty straightforward. And so I just kind of half was like, I'm just gonna go to the piano And hopefully, like once I put my hands on the keys where I know they are supposed to be starting at, that I'll be fine. And I kind of wasn't. I mean, I didn't mess up too badly, but I basically repeated the first two parts in the third, which I wasn't supposed to do. And then that kind of threw me off with what I'm supposed to do with my right hand. And so I was kind of like fumbling around in the general area where I was supposed to be. And then it just like, oh, I got it. And it clicked. And the rest of the song was fine. So yeah, that I mean, it kind of makes sense that I'm like as pretty fatigued at that point, just being awake for 2 days out in the cold for from more or less like 4 p.m. to like 8 in the morning. I was basically outside because the train station, like the doors are just wide open, so you're basically outside the entire time. So yeah, and like one of the funny things too was like the people that run the event are Japanese and they're older, and like they don't really speak English at all. And I made the stupid mistake because I message them all the time discussing stuff, and I message them in Japanese. But when they asked me what the song name is, I was just feeling lazy, and I wrote, "I think I'm going to play," and then put the song in quotes, the name, "Dance the Night Away," and "By Twice." And then when I saw the event program, I noticed that they just saw what I wrote, copied it, and basically pasted it in it. So it said in the program, "I think I'm going to play Dance the Night Away by Twice." It's like, oh yeah, that's my mistake. I'm sorry. That shouldn't have been there. But yeah. And the funny thing too is like after I finished and they gave me a flower for playing and everyone else finished, like as I hit the door to leave the department store, I remembered what the third bar was supposed to be. It's like, ah. I mean, the playing was more or less good. So, but yeah. And it's funny too because this is my second time doing this, and like the same jazz pianist was there, which is cool to see him again. And then like one of the girls, like a younger girl that played last time, that I was like, "You're really good." She was there again, and I basically same thing at the end. It's like you're really good at the piano. Definitely like destroyed what I was doing, but yeah. So that was kind of my interesting weekend. So yeah, that'll be all for today's little English chat time. And the usual goodbye, everyone, and of course, see you next time. See you maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I'm doing these at like 8:30 p.m. on weekdays in Japan. So there'll be another one tomorrow. Goodbye.